Welcome to ULPLM.
Universal Life, Pure Love Ministries.
And today we're welcoming Lakshay Gupta. He's a Vedic astrologer, and today we're talking about love and relationships and how we can utilize Vedic astrology to chart out and help with our, potential mates, our mates that we're with right now, life partners, our soulmates, just to see, kind of chart out and see how we both stack up or how we both compare with each other. So why don't you go ahead and explain it? Sorry about this. Just kind of start from the beginning and explain to people what, how this pertains and then what different steps you take and what you look at.
Yeah, sure. So hello, everyone.
Aspects.
Yeah. So today we are going to talk about love relationships and how we see them in the Vedic horoscope chart. So as we know that the ascendant is the individual and the seventh house in the horoscope represents the partner, right? So we need to study the first house and the seventh house both together when we have to judge or predict the quality of a love relationship. So different planets in seventh house can give different results. Like moon placed in seventh house can show either multiple love relationships or a very good emotional connect with the partner based on PAC, that's placement, aspect, and conjunction. So the same planet in the seventh house can have different influences on the relationship depending upon how it is placed in the seventh house. If it is with his friends, if it is with positive planets, if it is receiving positive energy from everywhere, it will give way to an emotional relationship, right? To a caring partner, to a loving partner. However, if it's not well placed, if it's with Rahu, or if it's waning, that is losing power, it will show multiple love relationships, or it will show fickleness in the love relationship. So that kind of a person would keep on switching from one person to the other, in search of that partner. So that's the kind of different influences that we have of planets on the seventh house, and different planets show different things. For example, Mars in the seventh house can show a dominating partner, right? Because Mars is about passion and dominance. Now, if Mars is very well placed in the seventh house, it can also show passion in a positive way. It can also show a good sex life. But if Mars is afflicted, it can show violence in the relationship. So depending upon the partner, how it is placed, and what kind of combinations, what kind of aspects it has, it can show different results. Like Saturn in the seventh house usually shows a late marriage, or a person with Saturn in the seventh house takes time to settle down. So he may settle down at like 40, 45. So because he wants to find that perfect partner. He wants to stay with the partner before tying the knot. He wants to give. That kind of person is very serious about the relationship. So he would look for something which is going to stay. So that's why we see that people who have Saturn in seventh house usually have late marriages. Right. So different planets in seventh house show different results. So that's one part. Now the second thing that we look at is where the seventh house lord is placed. So we have lords of all the houses. The first house has a house lord. The second house has a house lord. Similarly, the seventh house also has a house lord. Right. For example, if the seventh house is Gemini, if the seventh zodiac sign, the zodiac sign in the seventh house is Gemini, then we have Mercury ruling the seventh house. Now we need to check where is Mercury placed in the birth chart. If Mercury is placed in the 11th house, which is called as the house of gain, house of profit, house of income, then we can say that the love relationship can also be financially rewarding to the individual. Because the seventh house lord is placed in the house of gains, in the house of receipts. So, so depending upon where, because the seventh house lord is your partner. So now where is your partner placed? Is it placed in the house of diseases? Is it placed in the house of property? In the house of home? In the house of happiness? or is it placed in the house of career? You know, so depending upon where it is placed,
Yeah.
that area of your life will get activated as you get in the relationship, right? Yeah. So if the seventh house lord is placed, say, in the third house, then we usually see that the partner would seek another partner, who is very nearby, because third house represents neighborhood. So if the seventh lord is in the third house, then we usually see people, getting into the relationships with the other people who are like nearby to them, who live close by, and who they are not into long distance relationships, right? So that doesn't work for them, because their seventh house lord is in the neighborhood, right? And if the seventh lord is placed in the 12th house, which is the house of foreign land, which is the house of foreign affairs, right? Then we see that the person marries or gets into a relationship with someone living abroad, or not living in the same country. So we can see a
So
lot
it's
of.
basically, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we basically see that different planets in the seventh house and where the seventh house lord itself is placed can show a great deal about, the partner and the quality of the relationship.
Okay. So yeah, and that's as I understand it. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, Basically, all of these aspects in these different houses, these different planetary planets, basically, and their essence and what they represent. Uh, we were talking about that earlier. As the celestial events that happen, they they
Affect
they
us.
affect us in big ways, and
Right.
people, most of us don't understand it. A lot of people just kind of pass off astrology
Hmm.
as just something that's cockamamie, but it's not. I mean, there's actually a lot
Yeah.
of good, solid evidence to this, and
Right.
I think that's kind of how I'm learning from you. So I'm just asking you. You can use this same with money, right? If you were to predict money or financial success,
That's
you
right.
can use these different aspects and how
Yeah.
they're lined up and when you were born. Um,
Right.
yeah, I mean that's just really awesome. It's just the different aspects and the details that go into it.
Right.
Yeah.
It can really throw people off sometimes
Yeah.
because they're like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, that's a lot of information to handle." But you can actually you can look at it in a simpler way, and it does make sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the another interesting part about this is that people ask us, is it the right time for us to get into a love relationship? So we can even contemplate, that, and we can try to tell them that no, this is not the right time, and maybe you can try after 6 months, because whoever you're gonna meet during the next 6 months is not gonna stay with you. We
Right.
can see those combinations. If we see that the person is under the influence of, say, Rahu, which shows instability, then we would say no, this is not the right time for you to get into a relationship. But when Venus,
Yeah,
or when you have the Mahadasha, that's called the planetary period of Venus ruling over you, that's a good time, to get into a relationship, because Venus itself shows love, romance, and all that. So depending
Right.
upon which planet is influencing you currently through the planetary period and transit, we can suggest people, to utilize this time, and make the best out of it. And this is
yeah,
the time when you should be actively looking for a love relationship, and it is gonna pay you off well. Yeah, it's gonna stay. You know, so
yeah.
yeah. So all this also we can check. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I love the astrology. I do. I'm digging it. So yeah, so you can really look and see like when the best times to even start relationships, or
That's right.
how to or when to get out of relationships, or
Yeah.
when the best time to rekindle, or how to get through those tough patches between people. And
Yeah.
it really is awesome. And I think it just, yeah, it doesn't get nearly enough credit. But when you do understand even just the energy around you,
That's
um,
right.
here in the 3D realm around your aura, just once you get that, even you gotta know that all those energies really do have an effect on
Yeah.
you, whether you realize it or not. And when you are conscious of it, then you kind of take a little bit of control of that. And I like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And basically, when we talk about a love relationship, since it's 180 degrees from the first house, it shows the things that are lacking in our personality, and we seek them in the partner. You know. So yeah.
Right.
So it's like we see that the partner is going to complete ourselves. So it's like my soul lacks this X, this Y, this Z, and the partner would have those X, Y, and Z, and then together we would be complete, right? So we can suggest people that this is not going to work out for you, and these are the things that you should consider while you are seeking a partner. you know we can tell them,
Yeah.
that you should look for someone who has these certain attributes, and if you find someone with these
Right.
attributes, that's when you should say, okay, you should give it a go ahead, right? So yeah, because if you find those attributes in that person, then they're going to complete you. They're going to sync with the energies that you have. They're going to complement the energies that you have. And yeah, so and together you can get everything working. So
Right.
yeah, so that's another application of Vedic astrology. So we can tell people the time when to go ahead, and what are the qualities that you should seek in the partner, right? And sometimes we also tell people
Right.
not to go for a love relationship if we see that the seventh house is afflicted, or the seventh lord is very weak
Right.
in the chart. We tell them not to spend much time seeking a love relationship. Rather, what you should be doing is making money, you know or
Right.
doing other things or pursuing your hobbies. But probably love relationship is not something which is going to be rewarding to you, right? Yeah. So because we can, yeah,
Right.
that's when we see, yeah, that's what we can check through the horoscope, and we can tell them whether this area of life is going to work for you or not. And if we see
Right.
a lot of challenges around that, we can also give them some remedial measures. You know, so I get a lot
Right.
of emails from people who say that that they have been into multiple relationships, but nothing has been working out for them, though they have tried to
Yeah.
give their best. So in those cases, we can find out the root cause, of why this person is doing his best. He has been loyal, right, and everything. But then why is it that that things don't work for him? So we can check the seventh house, the influences on the seventh house, and we can give him some remedial measures, just so
Right.
that we can balance the energies. We can ask him to do some donations. We can ask him to consume certain things, to increase the energies of
Yeah.
some planets. We can recommend some gemstones, right? We can also ask him to do some meditation or something, some mantra chanting, right? All these things will balance out the energies, and whatever qualities he's seeking in the partner would flow naturally. So yeah, so from the application point of
Right.
view, from the solution point of view, we have a lot of scope, right? So yeah, so
Right.
so now it's no matter. So now the question is not just that when I'm going to get into a love relationship, or when am I going to find my perfect soulmate, but we tell them what they can do
Yeah.
about it, what they can do if the relationship
Right.
is not working for them. So it's solution oriented.
Right.
Similar to the job, yeah, similar to the work I do. I mean, I do it from an intuitive standpoint, but yeah, that's really what psychics and astrologers. That's what that information is good for. Is to help
Yeah,
kind of give you guidelines,
exactly,
and a lot of
exactly.
times we're pretty aware of.
Yeah.
When I've had my chart done, I mean, I looked at my chart and I was like, yeah, I was aware of this, my whole life, because it does in a lot of ways. And when you get the time in there, time of birth, the time,
Yeah.
the day, city, it really can pinpoint a lot of things. And have you ever had anybody that's came in, got a reading or a chart done, and that didn't listen and didn't follow that direction, and it didn't work out for
Yeah,
them?
it happens because people come, and they want to know about everything, that's gonna happen. But when we tell them that,
Right.
"See, this is something which where this thing is gonna be challenging for you, and you need to put in effort from your side,"
Yeah.
that's when they back off.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, so people don't want to
Yep.
make
That's
effort,
right.
They want things to flow
Yeah.
naturally. And sometimes we do a lot of problems. We see a lot of problems in the chart, right? We see a lot of afflictions when it comes to the planets which influence the love relationships. So we tell them that, the problem is not in the partner. The problem is how you are contributing to the relationship, right? So if you change some aspects of your personality, you can fare very well. But then people are not ready to change. They're ready to change the
Yep.
Right.
partner.
That's right. You have to learn. You have to bang your head against the wall a few times before
Yeah.
you learn. Sometimes we all do that, I think. So, I mean, does anybody have any questions? Any of the viewers? And please share. I know that it took us 4 or 5 tries to get this going, but it looks like things are going a little bit better now.
Yeah.
And thank you for being patient and sticking
Yes.
around.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Lakshay, for sticking around.
Yes. Thank you.
Fine, thank you.
So, if anybody wanted a chart done by you, I've got your logo up, your
Yep.
banner from your Facebook page.
That's right.
But you also have a website, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's astrovedic.com, and you can reach out to me through the website, and also you can reach out to me through the Facebook handle. You can just drop in a message. And I also have a blog if people are interested in reading articles on Vedic astrology. Yeah, so I
Awesome.
maintain a blog which is astrolakshay.blogspot.in. We'll maybe publish that link as well. So if people are fond of reading and understanding how Vedic astrology works, so I have all those articles where I've explained everything from the beginning. So yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you got all that out there.
Yeah.
'Cause I am interested, and I do read and I try to study up, but some of it just gets a little too, and I feel like I'm a detail oriented person, but sometimes too many. It's too many.
Yeah. Maybe we can do some tutorials wherein we can start from the basic, for people who have no
Yeah.
idea, just like very basic tutorials. What is a house? What is a planet? How the planets
Right.
are related to the houses, how zodiacs are related to the houses. So yeah, we
Yeah.
can think of something like that.
That'd be
If people
awesome.
are curious to learn, yeah.
You spent quite some time learning how to do it.
Yeah.
You went to school for it, right? So you've
Yeah, right. 2 years of schooling, and then it's
Yeah.
been like 7 years with predictions, the various charts. Yeah, I still remember for the first 3 years I used to not charge anyone. It was all free because I just wanted to focus on the different variety of charts that I get,
Right.
just to gain experience and
You
get
learn.
better at it.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what I suggest to psychics or anybody who's doing any kind of work.
yeah, exactly.
Get yourself out there, do some free work for a little bit.
Right.
And then,
Yeah.
then you come to a point where you gain a
Where
mastery
you have
to
to
it.
value
And you have
yourself.
to
Exactly.
value yourself.
Exactly.
Because
Because it's
if I give away free readings right now, I'm
yeah,
inundated. I do on the
beautiful.
live but
Yeah.
so what's the prediction generally, or have you worked on any kind of forecast or been working as far as love or relationships, as opposed to all of us, and that relates to all of us generally?
Yeah,
As-
so right. Yeah, so currently, as I say that, we Venus is a planet which we check usually, when we need to study love relationships. So we check where Venus is transiting right now. Currently, Venus is in Gemini, which is a wonderful place for Venus to be in. It is Mercury's house, and Venus or Mercury are friends, right? So this month, it's gonna stay for a month in Gemini. It's very good, to start a relationship, or to seek that partner. So it's gonna be good. And people who are already in relationships, this month is a good time for them to maybe spend some more time together, or go to a restaurant, or go to the beach or something. Yeah, because Venus is powerful. Yeah. So that's a good time. And on the whole, if we talk about, Saturn is retrograde currently, so it can be challenging for some people, not in terms of love relationship, but for the other areas of life. So my suggestion would be just to keep patience, and just not to engage in any unfair dealings, because Saturn is against unfair dealings. Not to
Right.
engage in quick money, not to engage in gambling.
Right.
Instead, do their hard work, avoid excessive alcohol, avoid excess of everything. Just be controlled and disciplined for the few months that Saturn is retrograde. So yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how long will this last? How long is Saturn going to be in retrograde?
I think it is gonna be there for 6-7 months. Yeah, I'll tell you the exact date. It's gonna
So have you
be
ever
there
done
for
any high
some months.
profile? Have you ever done just for fun? I'm sure you have. Like any high profile people or celebrities? Just
I've done it for some celebrities, but we have to maintain the confidentiality, so we can't reveal out the
no, I don't
names.
mean. Yeah, I mean just for fun. I mean just like generally, just hey, I want to see what
Yeah,
this. Not
yeah, but
to actually do not because I know what you're talking about. I've done readings for some celebrities as well
that's right.
and high profile people, and I don't mention their names. I'm just talking about just that you're interested in. You said, oh hey, these guys got together. Like I can't believe I'm going to say this. Like the Royals, they just got married, or Harry just got married, right?
Right.
Did you ever do any chart on anybody like that, or any new
uh,
relationship, just out of interest of yourself?
yeah, sometimes even I still remember that I used to look up the charts for of celebrities on my own. Yes, like of course celebrities have consulted, but usually the celebrities, they don't consult on love relationships. They don't ask questions about relationships. They are
Right,
mostly asking about their career.
their career. Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah, it's the career is something that's the main point for them. Relationships, I think, it just goes along, and probably celebrities wouldn't be very comfortable sharing their personal life with
right.
even an
See, that's
astrologer.
different than me. That's different for me because the high profile business people that I talk to want to talk about love.
Oh,
They
great.
want to talk about love. That's usually what they want to talk about. Yes, career
Oh,
sometimes,
uh-huh.
but I would say more so love than their
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
careers.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, great.
So, well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about, or you want to? Let me see if there's some questions in
Questions?
here. Jennifer Simpson says, first time viewer, I would be very grateful for a reading. All right. Well, yeah, if you want to get a hold of him through his website, which can you drop that in the comments, Lakshay,
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
your website, and just kind
Yeah,
of let people know. So
yeah, sure.
she's just wanting to know if she could have a chart
And
done.
then she also said 6 or 7 months. Oh my God.
Sharon Boyle says, I shall attempt to be controlled and disciplined. Talking about Mercury being or Saturn being in retrograde.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. I've noticed for probably the last 2 or 3 weeks, there's been a
Yeah,
shift of that. There's been kind of this, that
right.
when it went into retrograde about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Did you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I think I lost you. Yeah. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Did you? Okay. I said, how long ago did Saturn go into retrograde?
Yeah, it's gonna be, I think, 6-7 months, I guess. Yeah.
No, how long has it been in
It's
retrograde?
been a month. It's been a month. More than a month.
A month? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I felt it. I've seen
You
it.
felt it?
Like
Yeah.
friendships are kind of going, they're distancing, but then they're coming back.
That's
And
right.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of I feel like I'm seeing like a lot of just kind of shifting around, like musical
Hmm.
chairs right now, as far as
Yeah.
connections go, friends.
Because Saturn is, like one of the most powerful planets, and it transits, once in 3 years. It's the slowest moving planet. So it stays in a zodiac for 3 years before it moves to the next zodiac. So whenever it gets retrogrades or whenever it changes the zodiac, it's like it impacts everyone. It's a big impact on everyone. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've
yeah, so
noticed it.
when it moved from Scorpio to Sagittarius, that was a big shift. And now in Sagittarius, it is changing the direction and moving again towards Scorpio. So a lot of things which had fallen in place before, now they're again, it's like people are thinking, oh no, everything was working fine till now. Now what just happened? Yeah.
I
So
notice usually in astrology, when one thing's like that and it's kind of off or out of balance, there's always something else. There's always a good side of
that's
that. So that basically
something
opens
or the
something up.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else? What
But
other aspects are going on right now that are positive? Positive.
The positives is that Saturn is not with Mars. That's a very good thing, because a lot of people were troubled by the Saturn and Mars combination.
Yeah.
Because Saturn is a slow-moving planet and Mars is very aggressive. So now people can take their life in their hands. They can go along. They can find the direction which was missing before because of the conflict between Mars and Saturn. So that's like good. Now they'll be able to get the results, and get things moving the way they want to be. They just need to be patient and avoid excess of everything. Just don't pick one thing and keep doing it. That's not how Saturn likes it. Saturn likes to maintain the balance, and it wants
Right.
things to it. Saturn is a very karmic planet. It likes fair dealings, so anything which is unfair, don't engage in any legal matters, if yeah. So because Saturn represents the legal matters, right? So if it's retrograde, it can go bad, right? So yeah, so only engage in fair dealings, avoid easy money, hard work. Yeah, so all that's my suggestion to all the viewers.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Let me see if we've got any more questions here.
sure.
I should have been on the ball, but I was listening very intently.
Right. Yes, I like learning. This is awesome.
Yeah, Sharon Boyle says all of the daily card readings from tribes are leading toward meeting someone, and I'm hoping that will happen. I've done so much inner work and have had progressive waves of abundance and accomplishment, creating and manifesting, working towards setting up my own sound healing business. Having found everything within myself and my capabilities, I'm ready to meet a similar soul. I am Aries. So I don't
All
know,
the very
what does
best to
that mean
her.
to you?
All the very best to her. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
So how
she's
is
a
love
poet.
looking for Aries right now?
For Aries,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's pretty much fine for Aries, because they have got Saturn in the ninth house, and Jupiter is well placed for them in the seventh house. So they have a direct influence of Jupiter on their first house, and Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars and Jupiter are friends. So
Nice.
Jupiter's positive impact on Aries will help them, gain knowledge. I think this is a very good time for them to study, or maybe to do some research, or just gain knowledge
Right.
of various things, because knowledge and wisdom. Probably
Right.
they'll be in touch with the spiritual leaders, or people who are very knowledgeable.
Right.
So all the Aries are gonna be in touch with wise people. Yeah, because of the impact of Jupiter.
Nice. Nice. That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see here. How about Pisces? How's Pisces gonna do?
Oh, are these the questions that we are getting?
No, it's just my question.
I
Aries
think.
was someone but so yes.
No, I
Okay.
don't, I'm good. I'm actually good. I've things are going pretty smoothly, but I do notice the shift. I
Yeah.
do notice that shift in
Yeah.
just
And
for,
for
and I think it's been
Pisces,
about 3 weeks that I've noticed it.
that's right. For Pisces, it's gonna be better after October, because Pisces is again ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is currently in Libra. So when it moves to Scorpio, which is the house of fortune for Pisces, it's gonna give very good results, very
Really?
positive results. Yeah, and it's just like 4 or 5 months down the line, it's gonna be in their house of luck. And some people like you who are into psychic readings and energies. You know,
Yeah.
a positive placement of Jupiter adds a lot. To the readings, or to the kind of predictions that you make. So after October, you're gonna see that you're going to get a natural boost to
Nice.
everything that you're doing. So things are
Awesome.
just, so yeah. So
That's
you
pretty
you
good.
yeah, you'll not have to make much effort. Predictions will just come to you, and you're just gonna say them, and they're gonna turn out to be true.
That usually happens in my life. I'm pretty lucky that way.
Oh,
Okay,
beautiful.
let me see here. Barb Folk, I'm a Cancer. How about a Cancer? So she's wondering about a Cancer right now.
For cancers are ruled by moon, and moon is so usually we see that with Cancerians, they have a lot of mood swings. You know, so one day they're happy, the other day they're sad. They don't have a permanent, yeah. a permanent temperament. So with Cancerians, things are not very good because currently Rahu is transiting the first house for Cancerians, right? So I think they don't have a good peace of mind, and right, so there's something or the other, always going on in their mind because they're impacted by Rahu, right? My advice to all the Cancerians out there is to do some mantra chanting or some meditation. Get up early in the morning and probably, sorry.
Set good intentions.
Yeah,
Put positive
that's right. Yeah, like waking up early in the morning and just concentrating for some time, that will, give them some comfort. Yeah, because Rahu is always going to create some tension for them. Yeah.
So Tanya's asking. She says, "Who? I'm a Leo. What's for me?" And this is presently right now. So you're doing a great job. I'm
Yes.
probably challenging you, but that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, you're doing great though.
For Leos, I think travel. I think I see travel for Leos. Yeah, because they have Rahu going on in the 12th house, and Rahu in 12th house shows for foreign travel. So I think it's a good time for them to just pack up their bags and visit another country and travel around. Yeah, that'll be
Awesome. That's good for
Yes,
Leos.
right?
Go Leos.
for
I want to
Leos.
travel. I want to be a Leo.
Well, I'm a Sagittarius. You can do us. if
No,
you'd like.
I love being a Pisces.
You are Sagittarius, Norma?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that-
actually, it's good for Sagittarius because since the last 5-6 months, as I talked about to Tammy in the previous show, I think you faced a lot of conflict. Whether I should go in this direction or that direction. The decision-making power was missing. That's because Mars and Saturn both were occupying your first house. Now, because Mars has left the first house, now you're more focused, and you have things going in one direction. Earlier, I think a lot of thoughts were coming together, and you were not
Yeah.
able to decide, where should I go. You were kind of lost.
Yeah.
But now at least you will get some direction, and you can move comfortably in that direction. So it's a good time for Sagittarians actually.
Awesome.
Yay.
What
Nice.
about Gemini?
Gemini, I think for Gemini also the time is fine because they're they don't have any malefic planets placed around their ascendant or the seventh house. In fact, they have the Rahu placed in the second house, the house of wealth in their chart, which shows that they can have a lot of income, a lot of gains, financial gains, and those financial gains can sometimes just be a surprise to them. They can have unexpected financial gains because Rahu is occupying the second house for them. So yeah,
Very good.
so we can ask them that you can, if you want to go and try your luck at the lottery, it's a good time for you to do that.
Nice.
So who did we miss? Let's see. We might as well make this a full go all the way around, right? All the way around the wheel. So let's see. Who do we have next? We have
I think what do we have next?
Libra.
Yes, the Libra.
Libra. Okay, with Libra, I think not very good for their professional life because currently Rahu is occupying the 10th house, and 10th house is the house of career. So it's not. So there are gonna be some challenges when it comes to their professional life, right? And otherwise, I think for Libra also I see travel because their fourth house lord, which is the house of property, or the house or which shows the house, the native land, is in the 12th house from itself. So which means that they would want to travel abroad, and in fact they might even want to settle abroad. Right. So
Awesome.
yeah. So like
All
for
right,
me,
Sharon. Go ahead. I didn't mean
yeah,
to cut you off. Go ahead.
like for me, I'm a Libran, and with the Saturn transit, I actually shifted from India to Australia.
Oh wow, very cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
I
yeah.
was
So
Australian. I'd love to be there.
yeah,
There
it's
in New
amazing. Sorry.
I said I'd love to be either there or New Zealand.
Oh, beautiful. Let me know when you get a chance to come here. We'll catch up. We'll do
Yeah.
a show together, not the online.
We're gonna have to do that. That's right. We're gonna have to do that. So Sharon asked, has your knowledge of astrology enabled you to manifest your dreams with ease? We were just talking about that. That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, right?
Yeah, that's right. Because I took the decision of moving. When I checked my horoscope and I saw, this is the perfect time for me to make the movement because my planets are aligned, the energies are aligned, to the movement. I saw that the Saturn transit was working out for me, and now I'm happy that I made this decision. See, I got you guys like two times after coming here
Right?
and doing a wonderful show with you.
Awesome.
Yes, it's been awesome. I'm
I think
grateful.
it's going to do a lot
Yeah.
better on YouTube as well. So I'm going
Oh,
to
good.
share it out a lot more. So yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay. Well, okay. How about Capricorn?
It's a good time for Capricorn actually, but just because of the Capricorns are ruled by Saturn actually, right? So the problem currently with Capricorn is that they have Mars and Ketu both occupying their ascendant, which puts a lot of high energy or a lot of pressure, on them because Mars is also a very aggressive planet, right? And Mars with Ketu puts it kind of aggravates the energy of Mars. So Ketu is like a booster, you know. So this time they'll be like, we want to do this, we want to do this. They would be wanting to do a lot of things with a lot of pressure in their mind. So my advice to them would be just to relax and let this transit go away. Let Mars pass on from Capricorn to Aquarius. Once Mars goes to Aquarius, they can actually, try out different things. But till then, they should just be patient.
Okay.
How about the Taurus?
Yes, I was going to say Taurus as well. Good job, honey. We're
I
all
think
vibing here tonight.
I think for Taurus, it's a very good time because planets are very well placed for them. All the energies are working out right for them. Rahu is for Taurus is in the third house, which is a good placement, and I think Saturn um, is in the ninth house for them. So yeah, so I think that it's a good time for Taurus, and yeah, they can just be how they want to be. Yeah.
Nice.
D. Trudget says Scorpio. She's wondering about
Oh,
Scorpio.
we are left with Scorpio. For Scorpio, Saturn is placed in the second house, and which means that it shows that there might be a lot of gains for them, a lot of financial gains, right?
Nice.
And but the problem is that the Mars, their ascendant Lord Mars is with Ketu, so they're governed by Mars, and because it is afflicted with Ketu, then again it's not a very good time to make those important decisions in life. So they should also wait for Mars to transit to Aquarius so that they can take control of things and make those decisions in life.
Nice.
How about Virgo?
Virgo. So for Virgo, we have the Rahu in the 11th house, which is a very good combination. So if the Rahu is in the house of gains, that means it's very good for financial gains, right? So it's a very good time for them to invest, to make any investment because it will be rewarding, right? Any investment that they make is gonna pay them off. So yeah, so financially, it's a very good time for Virgo.
Nice.
Awesome. Did I leave anybody out?
I think we're done. I think with everything, everyone, we covered all the signs.
I would like to thank you all for being here. Thank you,
Yes.
Astro. We'll
Thank
have you
you.
back on soon,
Yes.
hopefully, if you'd like to have us. I know we always have technical difficulties, but that's just part of being on the internet.
Right.
That's fine,
But
but
yeah,
it's
thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Have a good day.
Why don't you go ahead and leave your if you want to, your places that people can find you for charts.
Sure,
Charts
sure,
done?
sure. I'll put in the comments. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Love you guys. Have a great
Thank
week.
you.
Yes,
Have a
thank you
good
all.
evening. Bye bye.